Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. Teachers passing a no-confidence motion against the Chilliwack School Board because of the school board's rejection of arbitration rulings. Tragedy in an ATV accident near Foley Lake. BC Transit to resume front door loading June the 1st after modification to buses. And now you can virtually graduate. Thanks for watching. We are committed to providing local news and news that impacts our local audience from Harrison to Garrison, Greendale to Hope, and everywhere in between, including Agassiz, Cultus Lake, Little Mountain, Fairfield Island, Promontory, Chiacton First Nations, Yarrow, and Five Corners, Chilliwack. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. After a special Monday meeting of the Chilliwack Teachers Association, the teachers have passed a non-confidence motion against the Chilliwack School Board. At issue, a few major topics, but what seemed to be the tipping point was the school board's rejection of the arbitrator ruling on a 2-week spring break for the 2020-2021 school year. The board twice rejected the ruling. Rejecting an arbitrator may actually contravene the BC Labor Code. 2 members who have spouses that are teachers withdrew from this debate. The votes against came from trustees Moz, Neufeld, and Ferguson. A further concern is that continuing squabbling over other issues, in their eyes, brings a board that cannot work for the good of students. And in recent times, the board has had heated arguments over SOGI 123, rainbow crosswalks, and back in April, trustee Ferguson's comments on the First Nations name of the new Southside K-8 school, and that it was too hard to pronounce, and a more generic name should be considered. So what happens next? Well, the process goes to the Ministry of Education. They could force a decision, censor, or even fire the board. They could slap everyone on the wrist or issue a stern statement. And they've done that in the past with trustee Neufeld and SOGI 123 and his comments on that. Tragic set of circumstances last Sunday on a logging trail near Foley Lake. An Abbotsford family of 5 were in side-by-side ATVs traveling on a slippery, muddy road when something went wrong and the vehicle plunged into the water below. Fortunately, a couple of campers from Squamish were nearby and were the first to assist. But by the time search and rescue arrived, the 2 adults and the 1 youth were okay and rescued by campers, but 2 other children did not survive. The coroner is investigating, and now a GoFundMe page has been set up and over $30,000 has been raised for funeral expenses. A provincial overdose alert was issued Wednesday afternoon, and in the last couple of weeks there has been an increase in fatal and non-fatal overdoses. The province is asking addicts and users to have an naloxone kit handy or use an overdose prevention site. That's something we don't actually have in Chilliwack or the Fraser Valley. Those in recovery circles in the valley have notified Fraser Health over the past week on what they've seen and heard on the street. BC Transit will allow front door boarding in all buses starting June 1st. Fares will be charged at that time as well. Plexiglass shields have been put into place on all buses throughout the Fraser Valley. Both Abbotsford and Chilliwack have been able to absorb the costs of the past few months without bus fare collection. More COVID cancellations, and this time in the skies. The Abbotsford International Air Show has been grounded for 2020. The Chilliwack Flight Fest may still have a show, and unlike the big Abbotsford show, the Flight Fest is smaller in scale. It needs less manpower than the bigger show up the highway. The cost factors are different, although the Flight Fest has been challenged in trying to get sponsors over the last few years. In fact, the 2018 show was canceled for that reason. It did fly in 2019. After the break, time to order your corsage and boutonnieres, and yes, there will be a graduation this year. Sorta, kinda.
Wasting away, watching clouds float by my window.
Last week, chillTV told you that the Chilliwack School Board made the tough choice to cancel high school grads and proms. All this due to COVID-19. Sardis Secondary has taken a novel approach and hired a media company to put together a virtual grad ceremony with cap and gown and present that on the internet. And the nuts and bolts of the idea expected to be released soon. Still with the schools and the Teachers Union, the BCTF, as well as the BC Public Schools Employers Association, have ratified a new agreement. It's a 3-year deal, including wage bumps of 2% in each of the next 3 years. First, it was Mission Institution, where COVID was detected in the inmate population, and then Eden Care, the seniors facility in Chilliwack. Now, a handful of workers at Fraser Valley Specialty Poultry in Yarrow tested positive. While that part of the plant was closed for a few days, it has reopened. The retail outlet, called the Farm Store, stayed open the entire time. The applications for the $1,000 BC emergency benefit for workers opened online last week on May the 1st. The benefit, a one-time tax-free $1,000 payment for British Columbians whose ability to work has been affected as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Most people who are eligible for the new Canada Emergency Response Benefit are also eligible for this money, including those who have run out of EI and qualify for CERB. Cancellations continue to stack up as the COVID crisis continues. The Armstrong Medal Fest, the Chilliwack Chamber of Commerce Business on the Green Golf Tournament and networking event, and Chilliwack's Canada Day festivities now all off the books for 2020. Chilliwack's Bowls of Hope usually have their major fundraiser on May the 1st, and COVID took care of that. However, Trevor McDonald stepped up for a sofa session live stream concert and raised over $4,000 for the organization. It was a one-man concert online. Further donations can be made to chilliwackbowlsofhope.com. The city of Chilliwack redesigning the welcome signs on the highways and major roads in and out of town. They used to pay tribute to the Chilliwack Chiefs' 2018 National Championship. The new signs honor local First Nations. The new phrase is now, good that you come, good that you came to Chilliwack.
Wasting away. Watching clouds float by my window.
Chilliwack FC Soccer Club have completed their spring refund process and no longer taking any other refund requests. FC have refunded about $127,000 back to its members, and the team sits patiently waiting for the city to give the all clear and allow players to resume to play on the pitch. You can go to Chilliwack FC's Facebook page or the website for more information. Even though the hockey season has come to a full stop, that doesn't mean that the business end of the sports grinds to the halt. The Pacific Junior Hockey League announcing that Trevor Alto has been hired as the next commissioner. Alto was the executive director of the British Columbia League between 2012 and 2019. And earlier in 2020, there were rumblings that Chilliwack was being considered for an expansion franchise. And those murmurs have since been silent. Team BC are sharing uplifting messages with athletes, coaches, managers, and volunteers to keep them inspired and active following the announcement back in March that the Halifax 2020 North American Indigenous Games were postponed. The Be the Spark campaign kicked off back on April the 30th with a video of Indigenous Sports Physical Activity and Recreational Council, or ISPARC, and Team BC staff offering messages to ignite positivity and to keep athletes motivated to stay connected during these somewhat challenging times. Fraser Valley Bandits announced that they have signed a 6'7" forward, Cameron Forte, for the upcoming Canadian Elite Basketball League season. Forte played 3 years of NCAA Division I between the University of Georgia and Portland State University before he started his pro career. And he's played across the globe, including stops here in Canada, as well as Chile, the Dominican Republic, Hungary, Iceland, the Republic of Kosovo, Taiwan, and Uruguay. chillTV weather, we're in for a bit of a scorcher this weekend. Lots of sunshine, highs getting up to 27 degrees, even maybe a degree or two warmer, and time to get out the sunscreen. Thanks for staying with chillTV's News of the Week. We appreciate your watching. If you would like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.